All right, here's a little song from the Midlands legend. You all know what I'm talking about. All the way from Mullingar. Yeah. All right, everyone, come on. You gotta sing with me. When God created a woman for me, He must have been a beautiful to show the world how to know and be free. When He created a woman like you, He made a sunshine right out of your eyes. Watch the moon go all over your hair. He put a soft summer breeze in your side. So you will bring summer into the air. Everybody, come on! Walk me all night and make me sigh. It's such a good looking woman. People stop, people stare, you know, it fills my heart with pride. You watch the riders, they're so surprised. They keep falling out of bed. If you listen to what they're talking about who's walking about with an angel at his side. Out there in heaven, I'll never know, man. I met somebody who'd like to know why. Most incredible angel they had was found to be quite unable to fly. You know I think I forgot. I'll never forget those 7 witnesses. The being an angel is lovely to see. But they've forgotten to be too late. You wonder what everybody come here. Walk me over. All right. People stop, people stare, you know, it fills my heart with pride. You watch the rays, they're so surprised. They keep falling out of heaven. If you listen to what they're talking about who's walking around with an angel at his side. Oh! Good-looking woman. Oh! You good-looking woman. Yeah. Good-looking woman. Oh! So they good-looking woman. Oh!
And my goodness there, Simon Casey, recorded by Sean and by William there quite recently. Well done, Sean.
Sure, that's okay. We'll try and bring them on. There's more country singers at that concert, but it was Simon we had tonight. Well, Ailee,
Well,
had a big day last Wednesday. We have no cake tonight, folks.
what? Who told you about my big day last Wednesday?
Little bird.
You're
The
not
little bird,
serious.
yeah.
A
told
big
me
little
that,
bird.
you had a big birthday Wednesday.
And somebody else had a nice birthday with me as well the same day.
All right.
Joanne Reardon.
Joanne Reardon, right?
She was 17 that day, and it was also the same birthday with Johnny McAvoy. Now, I don't know what Johnny is, but I think he's about 10 years less than I am. 20,
And
or
April-
a lot more than 10.
April's a good month for birthdays.
It is.
It is. Myself and Shani were 21 plus VAT.
Right there, a few days ago.
Oh, you're April people as well.
Yeah,
Well,
we're all April.
I have to
And of course-
congratulate you then on your birthday.
Of course, that explains why we have the very special light here tonight, especially for Ailee, our co-presenter for quite a few years here on LTV2. And of course, we're here on programme 217, and Brendan is on studio camera here at the moment. And Ailee, over the years, you have been broadcasting on radio. And to mark your 80th birthday, we thought you'd need to be tuning in to more broadcasts from LTV2, Ailee. Happy birthday.
Thank you, and thanks to all of you. Thanks to everybody. Thanks a million for this lovely, a lovely surprise for my birthday.
Well, it's a wonderful historic occasion, isn't it? Absolutely. And talking about history, a magazine with which you were so much associated, of course, has also come. This another historic.
Unfortunately, it's a sad historic occasion. To think that Clara News has closed. But who knows, maybe that it can be resurrected again before the end of the year, maybe in a different form, but definitely our town is in need of a Clara News. And I hope that some people might come together and to get us started up again.
We still have LTV2 anyway, trying to get back on air.
Oh yes, yeah, tell us about that.
Yes, a lot of developments this week, Sean and Bernard. We actually had Danjo here in our studio earlier this evening. Perhaps you'll give us a little update there, Bernard and Sean?
Well, Sean might be more qualified than myself.
Qualified, I have no letters to my name, but
You have expertise.
We're after getting one of the transmitters up and running on a test basis again.
That's terrific.
It's a UHF signal, so we just want to see where to be picked up. You know, so it is actually channel 30 on UHF, so see if we can try and tune it in.
Channel 30 UHF. And of course, it was Bernard that places our programmes on the internet, on milestones.ie and on the LTV2 site. And Bernard, great response from our online programmes.
That's right.
Like
We
last week.
programmed 2 and 6 last week. There was a good.
Yes.
There was a good few hits in it. I'm not sure. I don't have the figure right at hand now, but I'd say it was over 200 hits anyway.
My goodness.
Yeah,
And not only that, but we got great response from the Schlier-Blucher area because, of course, we had our 20-minute sequence on the Morris O'Keefe Festival.
That's right.
And that
that's
was
right.
a great response there.
Absolutely. It's a very big event now every Easter up in Kishgame as well. I think it was the 13th one this year, or 12th, is it, Sean?
Oh, it's the 12th? The 12th
yeah,
one
the
this year.
13th
Yes,
one next year.
next year.
He's 93 years young.
My goodness, yeah. And also present on the occasion was Nora Reedy.
Yes,
And,
that's right.
So, Ailee, you were very young. Very young.
I'm only a child compared to them. 80 is nothing.
If you think back on those wonderful 80, being 80 years young, there were very special milestones along the way, special milestones?
Well, I suppose when you're 80, you're bound to have special milestones. I mean, when you get married, when you know your children, when your grandchildren come. Now, when my great grandchildren are coming and going to school now, all these are terrific milestones in my life. And of course, the fact that I am made so welcome by, say, LTV2 to come into their television programme. And to be invited on, as you know, invited to do something on radio and all these things. I look upon these things as a great honour for anybody in the community to be allowed to take part in these things.
Oh, well, you're a mighty ambassador. My goodness, what an ambassador. And this ambassador will be appearing on RTE television on a documentary regarding the O'Sullivan Beara March. There's 4 documentaries on 4 great routes. And
4 roads or something, is it?
yes.
Is it
And
4 roads?
our one is the O'Sullivan Beara March. You'll watch out for Ailee. She'll be right on top of a mountain, up by Balloch, on a cold but beautiful morning. Then we go right down to the Kilmeady Castle, and from Kilmeady Castle right down to Drishan Cemetery.
You took it from me there then, and you explained all about the graveyards in Drishan, and you
I
did.
tried for a moment. But then we had Michael O'Sullivan down at the Boeing, the crossing of the Blackwater, and there's great indications. We heard at the Walking Festival over the weekend, great indications that that bridge that's emerging, there may be positive news coming at some point. We don't know how soon, but that would be wonderful if we had a bridge fording the Blackwater, and that would very much encourage the walkers, and a new route would be explored in coming years. So it might.
Sean, if you would ask me at the age of 80 to see what would I like to say, what do I want in the future, definitely the bridge across the Blackwater is something I'd like to see before I die. Oh, yeah.
On that day also, in the afternoon, that particular documentary, they created another piece of history down at Drishan, because they actually created a snowstorm below in Drishan by getting a snow machine, and they brought over a wonderful actor, the actor called Aidan Dooley. He's the man that actually has been doing that wonderful one-man show on Tom Green, and God bless you, Sean. And anyway, as we continue then, Aidan came over and he dressed in a very special way for the occasion, a special white cloak and so on. But it was amazing to see that they created snow in a little sequence in a grove down in Drishan. And who created this sequence but Peter Kelly, Frank, of the weddings.
The man who arranges all the weddings, Frank.
And believe it or not, Peter was here for Eurovision 1993, because it's Peter's wife, Aileen Morris, was one of the two girls that put all those beautiful windows displays in order, you remember, for Eurovision.
They put all the different countries that were coming. Wonderful. They depicted them on the windows in town.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, Sean.
Ailee, have you a lot of news for us this week?
Well, what I have, I will give to you. I've been writing, when you're mentioning Clara News there now, that 38 years I was writing for Clara News. So it's a big drag to me to see anything happening to it. But maybe now in time to come, people might come. I know that I wouldn't be writing for it again. I think I have my share done there. But I would wish that few more people would come together and to reenact Clara News, right? So you're looking for news now.
All the news, Ailee.
This will leave Galera Card and welcome to LTV2. I'm very hoarse, I can't help that. I have the flu. Now, here are the results of this week's Parish Lotto draw, which was held at McCarthy's Bar on the Sunday night. Numbers drawn were 9, 18, 23 and 28, and the jackpot was not won. €100 went to Ellen Curtin, Rishan Road. The seller was Herlihy Centra, and they got €50 seller's prize. €50 went to Kevin O'Connor Ratrue, 20 each to Mary McSweeney Killarney Road, Matty O'Riordan Shannocknock, Bernie Long O'Ban, Mary Singleton care of Dennis, Dennis Horton of Ratmore, Liam and Mirren care of the Wallace Arms Hotel, the Ahern crew of Boherby and Nuala Crone of Coolnarna. Jackpot for next week is €9,000 and the draw will be at the Clarion on Sunday night. A special public mass was said for the repose of the soul of the late Monsignor Manning on Monday night. And during the last week, the community school students hosted a spectacular fashion show in the school sports hall. It was held on Thursday night, and in all, 13 stores took part, and the proceeds, as usual, will go to good causes. The sacrament of confirmation was had here in our church on Wednesday, and a very large crowd attended. It was in Dernagree on the previous day. The organisers of our walking festival were delighted with the fine weather over the weekend. Their prayers were answered and a fine crowd turned out on both Saturday and Sunday to take on our many walks which are routed through our finest scenery. The organisers of the Monster Mac, that's the Millstreet Athletic Challenge, will be hoping for more of the same this weekend, when the mighty country park will be the starting point for these challenging events. Details are on the web. Last year our own Brian Murphy was overall winner, and we wish him all the very best again this time round. There are 3 categories: a 20 kilometre, a 34 kilometre and a 64 kilometre. Starts as early as 10 a.m. and all are welcome to come and cheer them on. Our development group had the honour of providing the marshals, our stewards, for the big event, and in the course of doing it, they will earn €800 for their trouble. And we wish the Big Mac every success. Please let's remind you once again of the tickets for the Eurovision Tea Party on the 18th of May. They are on sale by members of the Community Council. Catering on the night will be by the renowned Dennis Doody of Kingdom Caterers. Niamh Kavanagh is looking forward to being there as our special guest. Contact numbers for tickets. You can get them at the Millstreet Credit Union. The number there is 029 70764. or from Mara Daly at 087 903 1475, or indeed from any community council member. For 2 previous nights, that'll be that's on the 18th of May, and 2 nights before, for 2 nights before that, the 17th and the 16th, the development group are hosting Eurovision type karaoke competition. And if you'd like to join that, send in your name straight away. Look up the web for details. All Ireland Shearing Championships will be in the Greenlands on the 25th and 6th of May, hosted by the the St. John GA Club of Oban. And note here that the Glen Theatre are hosting a concert with Eleanor Sharkey on this Saturday night, April the 27th. And to book your ticket, contact them at 029 56239. Very special birthday this week, the 24th of April on Wednesday, which was shared indeed with the lovely Joanne Reardon, who was 17 this week. Many happy returns of the day to you, Joanne. Many congratulations to the lovely Catherine Cleary, who won €1,000 in the cash call on 103 during the week. Full marks to all those who pick up the rubbish from our roadsides. The sight of these green bags full of rubbish is evidence of the mindless people who continue to throw rubbish out of their cars. It's a law-breaking offence, and all those caught can be prosecuted. So be careful, and please refrain from throwing rubbish out of your car. The AGM of our Turf Committee was held during the week, and it's great to see them starting up again for the year 2013. There's a notice here that Cork Maths, that's mathematics, Cork Maths Circle have revision courses available for both inter-cert and leaving cert courses, and the contact number there is 085 1611 573. IRD Duhallow are holding a lot of interesting seminars at the minute, and they had one during the week for parents who would have children with learning difficulties from the age of 5 to 15. If you missed that, you might ring them again and find out more. Also, an information evening on assistive technology for second-year students with disabilities and learning difficulties. That's on Tuesday, the 30th of April. Again, ring them at 606 33 if you want to know more. There's details of a 3-day pilgrimage to Lough Derg are advertised in our church door. And the final night of our community singers was held on Thursday night, and a great crowd turned up for the ending. Music this week in the pub in Carriganima will be by Jerry McCarthy and Autumn Gold. Agus sin bhfuil corda. Now I'll hand you back to the rest of the programme.
Well, my goodness, yes, Ailee, we're coming directly from Ailee, but we're going to give Ailee a huge surprise because, in fact, it's now the 25th of April 2010, and right over us here, it's a helicopter, and believe it or not, Ailee Buckley is inside in that helicopter there because this was a wonderful surprise given to Ailee. She's actually circling, yes, there she is there. She is circling Kilmeedy Castle at this particular point. And if we could interview Ailee there, we would. But there she is. She's coming very close. Now, Sean is here with the camera, and we're taking lots of different images here at the moment. And here we are. The actual the helicopter is going right over the castle at the moment now. And yes, I think we could well see her waving at this particular point. And there is Ailee Buckley on a helicopter on her, yes indeed, it's on her, the day after her birthday, her 80th birthday. What an amazing person. There she is, right over Kilmeedy Castle there. And here is Sean Murphy filming, and my goodness. And I think she possibly sees us at the moment and is waving. There is a phone ringing, and I'm going to check. Could it be Ailee on the phone? It's 1 second now. Hold on there now. No, we can't. The phone is gone at the moment. But there, there she is, right up there. And Right. Yes, and there we are waving, and Sean is going to. Yes, we are waving here at this particular point. There is Ailee, right up here. Sean recording this very, very special moment here, and we're recording it on still camera also. And I think we actually see her waving. I really feel we can see the wave up there. She's going over her favourite Kilmeedy Castle here at the moment. And yes, oh, there we are. And at this particular point, the helicopter seems to be just going towards Cork at this point. She would also, of course, have had an opportunity to see Millstreet town itself. So that is just astounding. And thanks to Sean Murphy on camera, alerted very quickly by Ailee's son, John D. Buckley, to be here for this very special occasion. We have seen Ailee Buckley right on a helicopter, right on just going over Kilmeedy Castle here. It's been a very exciting scenario here, because just quite recently RTE were here filming for that wonderful occasion, which of course is going to be shown in July. That's the O'Sullivan Beara March, and Ailee was filmed by RTE inside and outside the castle here on that occasion itself. So there she is, gone right into the distance there on her way back to Cork. And at this particular point, Sean tells me that he has ready a very, very special record there, and recorded quite recently, of the one and only Michael Collins and the Old Man. So straight over to Michael Collins and the Old Man.
The tears have all been shed now. We've said our last goodbyes. His soul's been blessed, he's laid to rest, and it's now I feel alone. He was more than just my father, my teacher, my best friend, and he'll still be heard in the tunes we shared when I play them on my own. And I never will forget him, for he made me what I am. For he may be gone, memories linger on, and I miss him, the old man. As a boy, he'd take me walking by mountain, field and stream, and he'd show me things not known to kings, with secret between him and me, like the colors on a pheasant as he rises in the dark, or how to fish or make a wish beside a fairy tree. And I never will forget him, for he made me what I am. Though he may be gone, memories linger on, and I miss him, the old man. I thought he'd live forever. He seemed so big and strong, but the minutes fly and the years go by for a father and a son. And suddenly, when it happens, there was so much left unsaid. No second chance to tell him thanks for everything he'd done. And I never will forget him, for he made me what I am. Though he may be gone, memories linger on. God, I miss him, the old man.
And my goodness there, Michael Collins and the Old Man. And great song there. And picked very especially by Sean, who of course is editing our programme this week and who's in the studio at the moment and is our major controller here, telling us when we can start and stop.
Mr. Sean Murphy, he's the man.
Yeah, and on studio camera at the moment is Bernard. So Bernard has disappeared from our setting here and has moved over.
Yes, by Brendan.
Now, already in your programme there, of course we're coming up to a beautiful piece in a moment with yourself, Brendan, but you made lovely reference there to what's happening in the Glen Theatre, Ailee. But quite recently, I'm sure you attended that great drama production by the Bantier group called Stop It, Nurse. It was excellent, wasn't it? Well, quite recently they had, I think, their very final performance, and it was in aid of cystic fibrosis. And it was an absolute sellout night. In fact, I think some people who arrived perhaps mightn't even have got an opportunity to see it, because or else it was filled to that level anyway. So my goodness, well done indeed. It was a great production altogether. But the Glen Theatre is just magical, isn't it?
Oh, it is wonderful to have it there, and it is such a homely place to go to. And, you know, so convenient to us all. It is great that we don't have to be going as far as the Opera House in Cork and places like that for these things.
Again, and on our doorstep. And talking about on our doorstep, Brendan, our fair that happens twice a year is on our doorstep.
Bit small this year, though, Sean. Bit disappointing. The weather was bad, and it was back good. Sure, you know that yourself.
Right. So you captured some wonderful shots.
Yes, some wonderful shots, but back in awful that in comparison with the other years.
Absolutely. But it's amazing, though, isn't it, that the tradition continues?
Well, I suppose so, but at the way it fell from last year to this year, if it goes half of that next year, it will hardly be there at all.
And which is bigger, the March or the September fair?
March was always noticed to be bigger.
It was always, but of course long ago, the September fair was huge because it ran with the carnival.
Oh, yeah.
It was also warmer.
Yeah, and you find these people riding horses up and down the street, and then the loudspeakers would be all along the street, and they'd be calling, all on now toward the lawn for the gymkhana, and oh my God, and they'd be playing music in the street, and I lived kind of not too far from town as the crow flies, and we could learn all the names of the modern songs at home because they played so loud in the loudspeakers in town. Oh, it was very exciting.
It was really our radio of previous days, wasn't it, in many ways?
It really was, because...
And that time they had a little cabin up in the street. Anyone that wanted to could go and sing a song over there.
That's right.
You know, it was the first. It was the first karaoke.
Or the X Factor Millstreet
That's
style.
right, yeah. Anyone that had a few points, they could, when they went to off steam, they could go and sing a song. Like.
Wow.
These were the years, you see, long before health and safety and all these things. So people rode horses up and down the street, and there was a great carnival atmosphere. That's my memory of September fairs in the past.
Yes.
The egg and spoon race used to be there, and there'd be a three-legged race. And
a wheelbarrow race.
Fan race.
And if it'd be in the wheelbarrow, they should stop and drink a pint in every pub on the way, so the driver would be pretty intoxicated by the time he reached the finish point.
And there were a few pubs.
How many were there?
34 pubs in town. Yeah, no, and I went to school, there was 34 pubs and 34 shops.
My goodness.
Oh, yes,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
That's amazing, yeah.
And the Lord to mercy and baby hand to me. Up to the time she died, she could name every one of them. I wonder if you have that recorded. I suppose you have, Sean.
We have,
You have
we
a
have
lot
some
of
lovely,
them.
lovely memories. And this, of course, we must refer to the fact that our museum we are preparing at the moment, and we shall keep people updated. But that's the type of situation that we hope to evoke many memories through the images and through the different photographs that we're and we're going to have them on a very modern system so that people can actually go to a type of an iPad and you'll be able to see thematic photographs as such like that. So Sean is capturing the most amazing scenes here at Millstreet Country Park on this official opening of this most amazing festival. And of course the man that actually officially opened the festival itself and gave such a wonderful keynote address, the wonderful Ray Ryan. Ray, here very specially on this historic occasion.
Indeed, I'm delighted to be here. It's great to see traditional skills being preserved and promoted and maintained, because in these days of economic stress, I think many lessons can be learned from the way our people lived in the past. They were self-sufficient, they wasted nothing, they lived very simple lives, and I think a lot of their lifestyles could be applied in some small way to the Ireland of today.
And of course, Ray, coming from Ballydesmond, my goodness, you were so conscious of the importance of the blacksmith and the forge.
Well, I think every town and village had a forge, and of course there were not alone did the shoe horses there, but there were also great meeting places. And
I remember my own uncle, my own grandfather, and Jack Radley and Tom Radley.
That's it. So next to the creamery and the pub, I suppose, there were great gathering places, and especially on wet days, like for people could go in there, and there was fire, and there was heat and warmth, and of course there was also great gossip. And of course the blacksmith, he was more than just a blacksmith. Yes. He had to advise people about ailments in horses, and he prescribes cures for sores, and often using traditional folk cures.
Tremendous.
And of course, the horse disappeared from the land and the tractor took over, but as you can see here today, the great skills which they had has been preserved and is now being turned into some beautiful artistic work on view here by the...
And really, it is an art form, isn't it?
It
in
is.
A very special manner.
It is, and I was delighted to see that the Blacksmiths Association incorporated the word artist in their title.
Yes, and coming straight over here, yes. All right, we'll just move over very slightly here. But Ray, another aspect too, the actual sound of the anvil. I mean, you referred in your keynote address there to the sounds of the forge itself.
There are great sounds and also great smells, and you know it once you it stayed in the nostril for quite some time, you know, and there was something about a forge that, you know, that it reflected, I think, all that was best in rural Ireland. And for you had folk cures given there, you had all kinds of gossip exchanged, and there were great centres of activity.
And of course, the day of the wheel bending, that was such a special day because there was a mehel created with all the other blacksmiths helping on that.
That's right. And they say that the blacksmith he'd never lift his head from the anvil to know what time of the year it was, because somebody would come, as winter was approaching, when somebody would come in for frost nails to be put on the horse. And if summer, there'd be the harrow and the various seasons, the implements and the tools that were needed for work on the farm. So the blacksmith didn't have to lift his head. He knew how the seasons changed from the people coming into the forge to him.
I can really feel you felt so much at home here today.
Yeah, this is rural Ireland at its best, and great credit to the organisers, Donny Howard and the people here, and of course to Jerry Sheehan for creating this gem of rural Ireland, Irish life here in the country park. It really is, and I often think if anybody was feeling lonely, all they need to do is come out to the country park here in Millstreet, sit down on the seat out there, close their eyes and listen to the sounds of the water, Sounds of the birds, sounds of the birds. And driving in here today, I was delighted to see a musher here on the drive-in, and I saw, it was great to see that. And there's living life in this park.
I'll tell you. Absolutely. And you know, the birds there seem to just totally agree with you there, because they seem to come in a chorus there when you talked about them.
I don't think they have that much power now, Sean.
He has, you know, he has. The St. Francis here of Assisi, of the country park.
Steady on.
Ray, it's been a great joy meeting with you here. And of course, Ray, the correspondent supreme with the Irish Examiner for many years, and of course, the agricultural correspondent. But I'll never forget that wonderful feature he always had in the Evening Echo called North County.
That's a long time ago now, Sean. Thanks very much.
They're all in the archive, and they're a great testament. Thanks very much, Ray.
Thanks, Sean. Thank
Wonderful altogether. What a man to have opened the park. Couldn't have a better person to have opened this very special event here at Millstreet Country Park. Sean Murphy is on camera here, capturing the most amazing scenes here. And as you can see, the bellows is at full throttle there, and we can see that the various blacksmiths now are making sure that there's everything in great order here for the occasion itself. And yes, my goodness, here, it's a forge, and it's a forge at Millstreet Country Park here, the 3rd of May, 2012. And with us here, a whole galaxy of stars here from the artistic world of the blacksmith. But first of all, here we are in Millstreet Country Park, and I'm delighted to be joined by Derry Sheehan. Derry, of course, of Avonmore Electrical. Derry, what an amazing weekend is going to happen here in the country park.
So we're delighted, absolutely. We have artists really here. They're blacksmiths, but they're really artists. And the fire, heat, smoke, smell, sounds, it's fantastic.
Tremendous also. And Derry, of course, hugely involved in the Walking Festival in Millstreet. Great success again this year.
Yeah, very happy with that. Yeah, the weather was with us, Shawnee, sure.
Indeed.
So we had a fantastic.
And this is the place to walk to this weekend, of course, Millstreet Country Park. And directly over here we have the man who owns Millstreet Country Park, of course, Jerry. What an amazing weekend.
Yeah, I hope we get some fine weather and things we'll get the sunshine. It can add a lot of splendour.
Well, Jerry, you have added such splendour here, because look right behind us here, the sound of the anvil and a most amazing range of stars here.
Well, you didn't hear that for some years. It was a very familiar sound in the 50s and 60s, which you and I might know about.
Absolutely.
But nowadays, of course, it's not heard of at all. Yeah.
What an amazing festival here. And Father Sean, you have blessed this festival, and it cannot but go so well after your blessing.
That's true, Shawnee, but I'm saying, coming from your background, you would have more to say about this and more interest and enthusiasm than any of us would have. So maybe you should be doing the talking at this stage.
Well, my grandfather and my uncle were blacksmiths, and of course the men who built the Spire of Dublin, Radley Engineering, are of course the same family. So, but now we're going to go directly over here to the gentlemen and to the many gentlemen who are creating this most amazing effect. John Joe Bohan, John Joe, you have some stars here to meet with here at this weekend.
Well, we do, Sean. We've got Eric O'Neill here from Cappamore in Limerick, who's going to be demonstrating fire welding for us this afternoon. We've got Pat Stratton here from Mayo, Mark Wilson here from Clare, and his son Dara.
Now, Dara, it must be the youngest blacksmith in Ireland.
We'll just say what age Dara is. What age are you, Dara?
12.
My goodness. And Dara, how long have you been in this whole world?
12 years.
This world of blacksmith?
3 years.
That's it. Certainly, what an amazing man.
This is the main man who's trained him up. This is Mark Wilson, his father.
Mark, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you, very good.
You must be so proud of your son.
Well, I am, and also I'm very lucky, because where I actually live in Mount Shannon in Clare is the Lions Forge, which is actually one of the very few forges. It's in original condition. The bellows there are still working, and it's still used. And so my son and I can just go in there and we can just tip away. We're having an ancient forge since 1760, so a lot of the local older generation are really glad to see that forge reopened and see a fire back in there, because there wasn't a fire lit there for nearly 30 years.
Wow. It's inspiring. What an inspiration, father and son. And now, who else have we here?
We have Joe Leary, the chairman of IABA.
Joe, a great opening address here for the opening of the festival.
I don't know, I think I was getting lost in myself there at a few stages. Yeah, it was grand. So, yeah, we're very lucky to be here. I mean, it's a wonderful venue for the forging, you know, so Millstreet have really taken care of us, you know, so hopefully we'll have about 30 smiths here on Saturday and Sunday, and, you know, plenty of noise.
My goodness, and a wonderful noise also, music to the ear.
Aidan O'Regan from Clonakilty.
Right, hello Aidan.
How are you?
Aidan, what a splendid showcase.
It is amazing. Yeah.
You feel very much at home here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Representing West Cork in a very special manner. Thanks very much, Aidan. We'll take it away, and we're all ready.
My grandfather used to sing it. His name was John Redden as well. And will I take the mic? Will you hold
there
it?
you go. Absolutely. There you go.
Oh, an Irish mother writing to her son so far away. I meant to send the shamrock to wear on Patrick's Day. Oh, the shamrock is a tender plant, its beauty soon would fade. So a sprig of Irish heather I'm sending you instead. A sprig of Irish heather, and it's seen all kinds of weather. It stood the heat of summer and survived the winter snow. Oh, I'm sending to remind you of the friends you left behind you in Tyrone among the bushes in the days of long ago. I remember Taradana and the Mass Rock standing there. Are we oft times knelt together and whisper childless prayer? Many times since then I wondered when the evening shadows fell. So I plucked this heather from the spot where once we used to kneel. Sad verse. Oh, the years from me are slipping, and I know I'm growing old. By the fireside lonely setting, when the nights are dark and cold. But I know your smile would cheer me and make sunshine out of gloom. So come back to me, Acushla, when the heather is in bloom. Just a sprig of Irish heather, and it's seen all kinds of weather. It stood the heat of summer and survived the winter snow. Oh, I'm sending to remind you of the friends you left behind you in Tyrone among the bushes in the days of long ago. Just a sprig of Irish heather left with love from long ago. Thank you very much.
My goodness, and there it is, appreciation being shown by our wonderful audience here, who have been enhanced, even more so augmented by many more people arriving there. And a very special word of thanks there to John Reardon there for a beautiful, so appropriate, and what a perfect setting for it, John.
Perfect setting, actually. I've seen the fire there a while ago. I'm getting an idea for this. I'm going to build something like this when my old age. I'm old already.
Not
but
at all.
Just when I go home, we'll do something like this. Yeah.
Oh, I must say, this was absolutely wonderful. And Helen, you did a mighty job on the bellows. And yes, indeed, all our Dunamore friends, thank you all very much indeed. And especially the young man over there. It's the young generation that to experience this. This is very, very special. And a great ambassador for the young people of Ireland over there. So there it is. Sean, with Sean on camera, we're going to continue. Sean is just wondering, is the kettle boiled? Check it out there, John, to see if that kettle is boiled. So John is going over to the crane now. I think it's Helen after. Oh, Helen is checking out.
You can come out and make the tea now in a minute.
There it is, and it's mighty. And we see Peg and Tim O'Shea have come in. And Tim, you would recognise a setting like this inside here in the traditional house.
I do indeed, Sean. I like the old oil lamp and the kettle boiling out the turf fire.
My goodness.
And
we must never forget that Tim is a founder member of Millstreet Pipe Band, which now is going how many years, Tim?
61.
Isn't that some record? My goodness there. And having a VIP like yourself here today and your good wife Peg, bringing back great memories here today.
It's lovely here, Sean. It's great to be here. We see all the old and the new.
Absolutely.
It's a lovely,
in a very special way.
In a very special place up here. So near us.
Indeed. And we're joined by John Kelleher. John, a member of LTV2. John, you'll remember the concept we had above in Oban for the Butter Road celebration, bringing it all back here today.
Yeah, that's right, Sean. That would be about 14 years this weekend now, and it's actually great to see a lot of people coming to the Oban area, even last week for the Monster Mac and even for the Blacksmithing Fair, and you know, they're all very welcome to the area.
And of course, yes, we're so very close to Oban here, very much part of this overall area here itself.
Riding down the road in a pickup truck. You better get ready, cause I'm picking you up. With a full moon shining and a little bit of luck. We'll run out of gas and maybe get stuck. We can get lost, baby, I don't care. I ain't worried as long as you're there. There ain't no place that I'd rather be next to you, sitting next to me. There ain't no place that I'd rather be next to you, next to me. For my gas and oil, who needs your shrimp and your caviar? I'd sooner have you just the way you are. Rich people got their money to hold, matching on the hill and diamonds and gold. They can't compare as far as I can see. Next to you, sitting next to me. There ain't no place that I'd rather be next to you, next to me. Change the station if the news comes on. When the signal ain't coming in too strong, we'll make our own music, honey, all night long. If the good Lord's willing, then we're old and gray. The kids are grown up and moved away. We'll be rocking there side by side with the barbecue chicken and the TV guide. Well, there ain't no place that I'd rather be next to you, sitting next to me. There ain't no place that I'd rather be next to you, sitting next to me. No, there ain't no place that I'd rather be next to you, next to me. Next to you, next to me.
have you been listening to your radio, Ailee?
Oh, I have, and I'll never be short of time again.
You have time in your hands.
I've time on my hands.
Did you see all the
Well, you need that when you're 80.
One second, Ailee. Did you see all the big bales of hay going up through town and up
Oh,
the
I
Macroom
did,
Road
I
and
did.
everything all last week?
Well, you know, Shawnee, it kind of filled me with hope. It filled me with hope because thank God there's hay somewhere for these cattle because it was very serious.
It was Sean Riley, you went to Dairygold and Millstreet last week.
Yes,
You got a
thank
few
you, Sean,
pictures.
for alerting me because, my goodness, there I was down. I'm sure they were wondering what was this man doing with the camera there, but they were so busy that they hardly even saw me, really. There was a huge number of people were down there.
That's right, and there's more after coming since. And the weather is getting better, is it?
It
Ailee?
is. There is
Small little
hope.
bit.
There is hope now. I could see the fields there and they're getting green. And you know, being a farmer myself, when I see cattle in the field now lying down, well, it's a sure sign that they have enough eaten because cattle, when they don't have enough, they're walking all day, searching
down
for
over the
more.
ditches.
Walking and looking for another bite. But it was good to see them lying down today now. It was a sign they were satisfied.
And of course, Millstreet Country Park, very busy this coming Saturday for the Monster Mac.
Oh yes, the Monster Mac will be there. It's a very challenging thing. It's what is it? It is from
It's almost like a triathlon.
Yeah, there's some road running, there's mountain climbing, is there kayaking?
Cycling into the lakes.
Into the lakes.
Yes. Yeah. I remember Sean,
Very challenging.
when Sean was there last year, do you remember there was a special hairstyle?
That's right. Tell us about that.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I don't wonder if there's any photos of that left.
Sean had very kindly taken part in a sponsored, very special event that was held in the pub in Corriginima.
That's right,
And part of this was to have a special hairdo. And Sean got a special hairdo.
I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. So I think we're going back in the years at the moment, are we, Sean Radley?
Yeah,
Well,
looks
actually, we've lots of archival footage that we're going to explore over the next number of months and years, with God's help. And with these, tonight we're going to go back to around 1999 and down to Green Glens, where there was a special boxing event, of course, organised by the Rylan Boxing Club.
And the boxing that was coming up is off.
It is. That Katie Taylor is not coming. I think due to an injury or something like that. It was on the radio anyway, so it must be true.
We still have boxing here on LTV2 Millstreet anyway.
But she might get over that and she might come another time.
Yes,
when it was
and what a great venue. Of course, we all have memories, great memories of Chris Eubank and Steve Collins.
That's right. And Steve Collins was going to box again. Did he do that yet?
Mention of that actually, yeah, but we didn't hear
Going
anymore.
to box again.
And that his most
and his
favourite
place
venue would be Millstreet.
There you are. Wouldn't that be nice if that happened? But anyway, we have a lot happening in the Greenlands anyway.
And of course, the sheep shearing.
Yeah, that'll be just more than shearing sheep. I think in that. I think there's something about wool. What was it? There's something about wool testing and. There is. It is more than just sheep shearing anyway.
Tremendous.
And they say people will be coming from foreign countries and everything to it.
And of course, remembering the 20th anniversary of Eurovision on the 18th of
On the
May.
18th.
Very especially. The 15th of May is the actual anniversary, but that's happening on a Wednesday.
And
So
on the 15th of May, then they're having a fun night in the hotel uptown.
to mark the exact
The exact day. And then it is all down to the Greenlands then on the 18th. And of course, in a studio of Kingdom Caterers will be doing the catering, and you won't get better than him.
Tremendous author. And a very special word of thanks to our very good friend Bernard Crowley, who's on studio camera at the moment, and William is not here tonight, but we kept a special seat for William.
That's right.
Over here.
And if we could keep spreading the word, if we could try and retune your televisions and try and pick up that signal in the Millstreet area, and let us know if you're picking it up, and we'll just see. It's kind of a test now for a few weeks to see where the signal is travelling.
Very important.
But of course, being able to see it on worldwide on the Millstreet and LTV2 website, tremendous.
That is
really.
terrific.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of a story there, Sean. I see the empty chair beside you. If you saw an egg on a chair, what piece of music would it remind you of? If you saw an egg on a chair.
No.
What piece of
You'll
music?
have to tell us on your
I'm
your
allowed
birthday.
it tonight because of my birthday. The lay of the last minstrel.
Oh, and Sean,
I think turn on the radio again.
I think now, tis time now, I think, to close the
oh,
programme.
indeed. And Sean actually has some music also, as well as our boxing
We
sequence.
find something.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're going off to Green Glens.
Right, so we're off to Green Glens, but we're going back in time, and it's going to be around 1999. So I suppose, Ailee, from that wonderful, very special birthday, we give you the honour of quenching the candle here on your 80th birthday. And a round of applause from our studio cameraman and from...
I still have wind enough to blow the candle.
And graciously entering your 81st year.
La corner day.
My
La
goodness.
corner day.
And so here we go, and from all of us here in the studio, from Sean...
Sean from me,
the two Seans, and from Bernard
Ailee,
and Brendan
from
who's
Bernard.
gone,
Yes.
and to them all, and
We'll
thanks
say
a million
good
for
night
the
to you
lovely-
all.
Yeah.
Slán Hispanic Jail of Galere, and now right over to Green Glens and boxing 1999 style.
Round 3.
Second round.